Hello, Music Multiverse listeners. Welcome back. And now we're in the top 5 albums of the top 24 albums of 2024. This will be album number 5, but yesterday we dropped an amazing classical solo and jazz piano record that was perfection in more than just its delivery, but the space in between the listening. Now, that's not our album for today for sure, but go back and really check this one out as it is a brilliant ear experience to drive a different kind of audio listening. Quick statistic and what to expect if you're joining us for the first time here. This is Beyond Your Radio's top 24 albums of 2024. All those heavily influenced by my listening of over 435 new albums this year. That's right. That's of the 854 new albums that are now on my spreadsheet to listen to. So if you're following along, you realize that I just listened to another couple albums. Yes, that's right. Today, I just listened to Claro, Charm, as well as Laura Marling's new record. Both I'm glad I waited on because they are nowhere near what they need to be the best of 2024 list. While they had their charms, no pun intended, there was no consistent substance or lyrical passion in their vocal whatsoever. True, there's some interesting soul, piano, organ, synth happening that's elevating charm a bit, but the idea is it's still a passionless vocal. It's mundanity in a certain. You've got to raise something. You've got to make something better. So I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I mean, you get the picture, right, of me and what we do here. That's taking nothing away from those that have it on their lists. I just need substance, musicianship that's in it to win it from the over 1,200 albums that released in some format, whether it was compact disc, digital albums, or whatever, however it came out. So the good news and the bad news. I'm genre blind, right? So great. I will go from Claro to Opeth. I can go from Willie Nelson to Cyclona. I can go from RJD2 to Julian Lage. But when I can promise for sure is there's no ass kissing. I don't want to be popular. When I say it's because everyone else says it's great, no, that's not going to happen with me. These albums, they gripped, they stuck, they had musicianship that they promised, and a lot of attention to the overall love of making an album, not just making a catchy single or a TikTok. All right. An album is not a single. So many times I hear people and their love for an album, and I guarantee you they don't listen to half of that record. And that's the problem with reviews and listings of today. So all I can ask of you is to hear us out. Check these out based on our description, the snippets I'm going to play. We want you to experience these 24 albums and then go where you will from there. Speaking of like heads and making a habit of this, at number 6, we take a heavy blues rock ride into stoner rock riff and psychedelia touches that are careful to leave a signature as well as breadcrumbs to that which makes them tick, not TikTok. This is Greenleaf, The Head, and The Habit. Now let's just, before we go any further, why don't we just acknowledge the fantastic cover that this is, right? That is a great cover. And it does explain. So I like big riffs, and I cannot lie. Do me crushing, throbbing, make me cry. But can you make it worth my while and the entire record? That's the problem, right? Can you bring the riff to reality? Can you make it work in production and with some of the instruments as well as the vocalists? That is the magnificent piece from start to finish that I'm looking for. Or is it, like most that happen in this genre, it's cool here, it's good there, and forgotten elsewhere? It's the struggle of a lot of stoner rock. The riff can be often that which undoes instead of grooves and leads and entangles. So enter Greenleaf and their latest, The Head and The Habit. to the arena of stoner riff rock this year. This is not their first record. Did they rise, though, above the din of the riff iniquities that I feel happens? So breathe, breathe out. This album kicks it off, thundering drums beginning to end. They let it go. I mean that's fine. You got to get the great hook, set it, and they definitely laid out the production. And I'm in ear worshiping mood at that point. So you got me. And they don't just do the riff and repeat. Therein lies the rub. That's right. They're layering and building space, taking time to have minor bridge work here and there, holding patterns that allow the riff to groove, back in, back out, the drums to blast along with it. And so yeah, they got this shit tightened up. And that's the first track, second track, and the vocal is hanging in there real nice. And that, I'm ready for what comes next. Not going on. I already know what's going to come next. I'm going to be surprised. And it does. Avalanche doesn't linger and it doesn't repeat. The song plays out the strength of the drums and the bluesy groove. Then it drops in the heavy riff and pace, allowing the vocalist to spill the avalanche part, right? And that's great. I mean, I feel the avalanche, and you will too if you're along for the ride. And as a matter of fact, you feel like that this is everybody's in for the ride here, that they didn't forget the drummer, they didn't forget the vocalist, and that's sometimes what happens here because the riff is so doomy and bluesy and awesome that everything else is left in its wake. Now the vocal is definitely being brought in through like a psychedelic pitch, which is great. There's a microphone enhancement to some degree, but it matches, it gives it that psychedelic that it really needs. They know exactly when to bring it and they know when to back it off. There's no predictability, which is the refreshing part of this, because that can happen with heavy rock blues. What you might start to actually realize is that the blues driven heaviness in the way in which it's being played out, with a deep intensity toward the groove and the linger, it's sort of like that of the Black Keys, right? At a level 12, maybe. It's even in the vocal pitches too. I can already see the lead vocalist pushing the microphone to the crowd on different horses for the refrain when they're going to be doing anything live. And hopefully, around in our area. We can also cite the bass work, and the reason that this album is way more elevated over the usual heavy stoner rock that we like, but this is elevated to a level of top 5 of the year. Obviously, if I hear anything in the ear washed that's like a whole album just rocket off, a wolf in my mind is the track here. Don't wanna lie, don't wanna reach out, don't wanna fry. Don't wanna yearn, don't wanna cry, just wanna end it before I die. The head in the heaven, there's a wolf in my mind, and I don't wanna have it, though I use all the time. The bomb dropped, it's got that vocal 70s mojo in the front, put the groove in the front with it, and let the band tease you before it blasts away. The standards are no longer low when it comes to this style and genre. Greenleaf has taken off the gloves, dropped the conventional, and found a perfect way to amp up, reformulate, and serve it up the way above the standard of heavy blues rock record. It has emotional connection that strays off the riff, elevates the drummer. He is wicked good, and it puts you right where you need to be. So again, I can't express how groove-rific this album is. So click on like oh Dandelion if you're still not convinced. Just soon we sat deep in the dark with our hands in each other's click away. This is going to be a hard rock habit to break in my listening years and has been since the start. It brings me to the heaviness and darkness of bands like I said, the Black Keys, and the usual keen ear of Magnetic Eye Records for bringing us the psycho fuzzies we love. Greenleaf has opened a passionate pursuit of perfection, of musicianship in the genre that sometimes gets completely forgotten while delivering these albums of the years and stuff. And this is definitely one of those 9 records in. This is what they've done. The production is absolutely spot on, allowing you to appreciate everything. Welcome to how stoner rock is going to get the attention of music appreciators like me and listeners out there. Are we done this year? Maybe we're in the top 5 that finally a stoner rock record is there. I don't know. You'll have to keep watching to find out. Greenleaf, Stoner Groovin', and Riff Ride, The Head and the Habit, our number 5 album of the year. What was your number 5? Do you stoner rock often? Will Greenleaf be on your list? Or maybe it already was. If it was, then you need to be on our channel constantly. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course. Articles, videos, podcasts coming very soon in the new year. We're it's all about anything we can get our hands on, right? Albums, bands, artists. Go beyond your radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for number 4, because it will test the very definition of progressive instrumentation, folk-inspired musical experience of a lifetime, maybe. Thank you for watching, and happy listening.